Well, we finally had some cool fronts moving across the south and southwest regions over the last few weeks, and it's begun to cool the water temperatures down, put all the game fish in transition, moving towards deeper water. There's one species that I love to catch that'll bite all winter long. We're going to teach you how to catch them on this week's show. Going to be a lot of fun. Stay with us. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southeast region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Hey everybody, glad to have you along for this week's episode. I'm so glad you're with us because we're already almost to the end of our 39-week run of episodes for the 2015 season. And as a matter of fact, let me be the first to invite you to join us for next week's episode, our final episode of the year. It's our end of season special package of big fish and highlights from the season, lots of the great fishing trips we've taken, along with some funny bloopers and outtakes as well. That'll all be on next week's show. Now for this week, my goal is to get you ready for the upcoming cold winter months. There's one species of fish that transitions deeper and deeper and is available for you to catch all winter long, and that's the crappie. So we're going to give you some tips and information and techniques that'll help you fill up your fish basket, get you some great crappie fillets for the dinner table this winter. And to help us do that, I'd like to invite you right now to join us on Lake Ray Roberts, one of my favorite crappie fishing lakes. It's located in North Texas, north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, between the towns of Sanger and Pilot Point, Texas. Got lots of good deep water crappie structure that we'll be showing you on this week's episode. And while we're out doing that, I'm going to be taking you around the region for your very latest fishing reports from our expert team of insider reporters. Also on this week's show, I'd like to show you for the very first time, and we'll be taking the maiden voyage in the brand new Bass Tracker Pro Team 195. Unbelievable brand new fishing boat in the Bass Tracker line, fully rigged out, got the Mercury 150 horsepower 4-stroke outboard on the back, everything you could possibly want. We'll be showing you lots more about this boat right through the upcoming 2016 season as well. So right now, let's get that boat in Lake Ray Roberts, get you back to the FSN studios for your weekend planning.
Hello everybody, the Salooner Tables are projecting the best game fish activity of the holiday weekend to take place on Friday, with the peak daylight hours beginning at 2:06 in the afternoon. Expect the sun to rise at 7:09 and set at 5:21. And we just had a full moon on Wednesday, so night skies will feature a moon that is 90% illuminated. We're coming right back with all the latest freshwater and coastal fishing information from around the area. Plus, 2009 Bassmaster Classic champion Skeet Reese answers this week's Ask the Pro question. Stay with us.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. By Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. By Mercury Marine, official outboard of Fox Sports Outdoors. And by Lowrance Electronics. Find, navigate, dominate.
Got him. All right. That's a crappie. That'll get it started. Let's hoist that dude aboard. All right, everybody, we've made it out on Ray Roberts right now, and let's get you set up. You know, with me, it's always about location, location, location. If you can find where the fish are, then your chances of catching them are fantastic. But it's all about finding them. There's a nice fish right there, and we are keeping fish. So I'm gonna flip that dude right back there in the live well, let him swim around, and explain to you. I'm gonna kick the nose around and show you we're in what looks like open water here, but you can see way out here in front of me, I've got a marker buoy out there, and that's marking a long underwater point that tapers off into deep water. And that's all I'm fishing, just a round, smooth underwater point that gradually drops off. Now that fish was in about 25 feet of water. These fish are going to be migrating deeper and deeper and deeper as this water temperature drops. And when it gets as cold as it's going to get, which in some places it can get in the upper 30s in our region, these fish will bury up out in as deep as 40, 45 feet of water in the dead of winter, but they'll still bite. We're going to talk about the techniques you can use to catch them. But you want to find underwater humps, underwater ledges, ridges, rock piles, and particularly underwater brush piles, and I'm going to talk specifically about brush piles coming up in a couple of minutes. Crappie rig, spinning rig, crappie jig, plastic bait. That's all you need. Beautiful day out here, and we'll see what we can catch. Right now, though, let's get things started with some fishing and lake reports for you.
This part of the program is brought to you by Over Under Clothing. We craft high-quality, made-in-USA products that celebrate the outdoors and the people who enjoy it. Help us with our mission of preserving the sporting lifestyle. Be part of the Over Under world and come celebrate your outdoors. Cool weather fishing continues to be great all along the southeast coast. In Alabama, I was talking to Captain Kevin Olmstead out of Mobile, and he had a 50 trout day with a buddy of his the other day. He was fishing north of the I-10 causeway. These trout were in the 1 to 4 pound class. Caught them on jigs in deep water, 6 to 8 feet, working them right along the bottom. Kevin says the water's starting to cloud up a little bit, but the fishing is still great. Over in Mississippi, the trout and redfish bite continues to be great. The Biloxi Marsh area has been outstanding. Captain Sonny Schindler is doing real well over there, and most of the other captains working that inshore water are doing great. Some of these trout are nice, they're 2 to 4 pounds. I've heard of catches, huge catches of trout. There's some undersized fish you got to be thrown back, but there's plenty of keepers. They're taking jigs and mirror lures, MR-17s and MR-27s. In Georgia, I was talking to Captain Greg Hildreth. The bull redfish continue to hit well there along the shoals and the sandbars on the barrier islands of southeast Georgia around St. Simons. But that fishing is going to diminish with cooler weather. But that cool weather also is great for the inshore fishing for flatheads and trout.
This week's Freshwater Report is brought to you by Piney Woods Hunting Lodge in Barber County, Alabama, offering the best in traditional southern quail hunting. Individual or corporate hunting packages available on 3,000 acres near Lake Eufaula. www.pineywoods.huntinglodge.com. Now, the Thanksgiving season is a great time for getting together with family and friends, but it's also a good opportunity for a family fishing outing. In Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi, there are plenty of good options for that this week. Lake Hartwell in northeast Georgia on the South Carolina border has 56,000 acres of clear water teeming with bait fish. Big striped bass are feeding on those shad and blueback herring right now. You want to try slow trolling, a live herring, or a crankbait on the long main lake points where bait's holding in the flooded timber. If the stripers are on the surface, make long casts with a big popping topwater lure to get some exciting strikes. R.L. Harris Reservoir over in East Alabama is also known as Lake Wedowee, but by either name it's a good option for some largemouth action this fall. These fish are feeding up for the winter on the steep-sided points, particularly where there's brush present. 300-acre Lake Lamar Bruce in northeast Mississippi has been renovated as a trophy bass pond, and it has worked. You want to be throwing buzz baits or shad imitating crankbaits to cover in the back of shoreline coves for some big largemouth bites.
Got one. Feels like a good fight right there. Way down there, 35 feet deep. There he goes. All right, look at that slab. That's slab fishing right there. Get you some of that right there. All right, well, we're still out here fishing this deep water. Let me emphasize something to you. The colder the water temperature gets going into this winter, the more patient and slowly you have to fish. These fish will get very lethargic. They'll suspend up off the bottom in the water column. They don't necessarily have to be on anything, just on some kind of structure with bait nearby, and they'll just very gently feed on those minnows and shad every once in a while. So you can't be jigging a whole lot, you can't be making a lot of long casts, you can't be moving quickly. These fish will not chase a bait. So you just got to get a mindset going into your day all winter long. We're going to fish very slowly, very patiently. We get a bite every now and then, but it can really pay off with a big old crappie slab like that right there. Get you some of that one. That's a good one right there for the frying pan. We're keeping fish today, going to keep a good mess. Stay with us. We will be back for more wintertime tips to help you catch crappie right after this. Got him. Oh, there he is. Good one. Good one. Up from deep water. They don't fight very good. All right, welcome back, everybody. He's fighting now. He's a flopper. Right now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lay this fish right here in this net for a minute, and I'm gonna show you 4 quick techniques that you can use on a crappie jig using this little Bobby Garland bait. I'll show it to you at the end, but I want to show you 4 quick techniques that you can make fish bite when they're finicky in the cold part of the winter time. Okay, the first one involves brush fishing. If you're fishing vertically straight up and down in brush, you drop it to the top of the brush, and then if we can be sure and watch my rod tip here, you drop the rod and lift it. That's the first technique, a drop and a lift in brush. Just a quick drop and a lift. The second one is the swimming technique. You drop it to the bottom when you're not in brush, you drop your rod tip and you just let it swim along and let the boat drift and let the trolling motor pull yourself along. Thirdly, use a dead sticking technique where you literally get straight up and down over the top of the fish and you hold it perfectly still, and they will bite it that way. So pull it straight up and down over them, hold it perfectly still. And then my best technique is this one, the swimming up technique or the lift technique. Drop it to the bottom and you just lift it up. Lift, hold, drop it back to the bottom, open your bail, let it hit the bottom, lift, swim, pull, hold, then drop it back to the bottom. My 4 best techniques for making a crappie bite your bait, and you too can catch yourself one of those right there. Time for more fishing and lake reports for you from your backyard.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's Tennessee and Kentucky Fishing Report. You know, we're at a point in the year where fishing is just really hit or miss in the Tennessee and Kentucky region, and it's all predicated by weather. We play a game of, can I go fishing when the weather's right now, from now until probably late winter when it starts to really just get real steady. It's cold, but it's steady. Right now in the fall, we've got late fall or early winter, we've got all these fronts moving through. This region had a ton of water dumped in it in the last couple of weeks, and it's really, I hate to do this to you, but it's just not very good right now. You can have a day or two where you can really catch them, but by and large, the water's up everywhere, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's also got a lot of color to it. And cold water and colored water just don't go together very well. So the thing is, in Tennessee and Kentucky right now, pick a body of water, pick a day where the weather's right, and then just go out and enjoy some solitude. There's a lot of wildlife, a lot of cool things going on right now, but there's not a lot of people out there, and that's pretty awesome. So with that being said, you know, there's better times to be here, but there's never a bad time to be here. So we'd love to see you on the water in Tennessee and Kentucky. God bless.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. By Lew's, setting a new standard of fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. And by Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability.
Hey everybody, glad you're with us today. We're talking crappie fishing here. We're on Lake Ray Roberts in Texas, but these principles we're talking about today will apply anywhere across the southeast or the southwest. And I want to show you just in front of me here, I've got a marker out. This is on a Corps of Engineers brush pile. And before this lake was built, Corps of Engineers pushed up a bunch of huge brush, big trees and all kinds of scrub brush that they cut and cabled it down to the bottom of the lake so it wouldn't float off. So I've marked it, show you a quick shot of what it looks like on my Lowrance HDS back there, my HDS 7. But you can see that brush clearly coming up off the bottom. You get straight up and down and fish it vertically. There's one right there. There's one on the brush. This is deep. This is 30 feet deep right here. Oh, he's got the bends. That's a decent crappie. All right, well, that worked. Pulled right in there, dropped straight down on that brush pile and caught one. So if you'll go and do a Google search for Corps, C-O-R-P-S, brush piles, and then the name of whatever lake you like to fish, and you can see if there are brush piles. The Corps of Engineers puts them on their website. They put GPS coordinates on those and they mark them on a map. So if you have a sonar unit or a GPS unit, you can type in those coordinates, go straight to these brush piles, and you can catch some crappie. That's just a solid keeper. It's nothing really big, but a lot of fun to catch out here in deep water. They're gonna be on these brush piles all winter long, especially the deeper ones, 25 feet plus. Let's get you some more fishing and lake reports from your local lake.
Hey folks, it's time for your Carolinas Report, brought to you by Marshall's Marine, located in Lake City and Georgetown, South Carolina. We're your bass boat leader since 1969. For all your nitro and bass tracker needs, visit www.marshallsmarine.com. Happy Thanksgiving. I know we've got so many things to be thankful for. First and foremost, I am so thankful for Mother Nature and the wonderful resources that she gives us to enjoy and talk about every week on the show. There's so many things going on in the salt water right now. Let's talk about the inshore trout bite, the flounder bite, the redfish. It's an incredible bite right now going on. Get out with some live bait or some good artificials and target those trout on top of those live areas where the water's moving. Mainly during the currents, when the currents are changing, is when you're gonna find those fish in the biggest numbers. Also, the redfish continue to be a great species to target right now around your jetties and back in the creeks as well. They're gonna start moving into that fall and winter pattern. You'll see them start schooling up and getting back into those shallower areas where the water's a little bit warmer and there's more bait. But right now you can still catch those big bull drums along the beach and those deep shipping channels that you like to fish for them. In the offshore side of things, I'll tell you what, the wahoo bite has been incredible, seeing a lot of big numbers of big fish. Find a calm day and get out there and get ready, because you're probably gonna catch some blackfin as well. Up in North Carolina, they're doing a lot of surf fishing up there, catching bull drum, flounder, trout, weak fish, everything. It's a great time to get out. Cape Lookout's a beautiful place. Go out and fish along the beach there. Go out, camp out, have a great time with friends and family up there as well as we start moving into the winter months. This has been your Carolinas Report, brought to you by Marshall's Marine. Remember, fish smarter, not harder. Keep your chaos organized.
There he is, straight down. Another one in that brush pile. Come up, buddy, come on. Ooh, that feels like a good one. I have to get the net after this one. Oh yeah. That's a decent crappie right there. That's what I wanted. All right, get you a load of that one. Ate my jig all the way down in his mouth. He was hungry for it. All right, well, let me give you one little tip about brush pile fishing like this. You need to be vertical. So what you want to do is pull up over the top of the brush and drop straight down in it. I want to show you on my sonar how this bait goes straight down, and you can actually watch it on the Lowrance HDS. See, this diagonal line right here is my bait that's actually falling down in the water column. And you want to watch your bait till it gets right on top of the brush, stop it, and hold it right above the brush. You never want to cast when you're fishing brush piles. You'll get snagged every time. But if you'll fish straight up and down vertically, you'll fish free and you'll catch a big old slab like that one there. We'll be right back to Lake Ray Robinson, Texas right after this.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Motor Guide Trolling Motors. Introducing the XI5 for ultimate boat control. And by Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro feature, where viewers get insider tips from top anglers. This week's question is from Jason, who asks, what is the most difficult part of being a professional angler? For the answer, we checked with 2009 Bassmaster Classic champion, Skeet Reese.
What's the most difficult part about being a professional bass angler? It's the time on the road, the traveling, and being away from my family. I spend 200 plus days a year on the road being a professional bass fisherman, and it's not all glamorous. There's a lot of travel in there that's not always fun, but being away from my girls, that's the hardest thing there is.
Thank you, Skeet. If you need help from one of the pros, visit foxsportsoutdoors.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit a question. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. Now let's see who wins a new pair of shades on the Costa Catch of the Week.
This week's winner in the Costa Catch of the Week contest is Brandy Westkovich of Ocean Springs, Mississippi, showing off a 28-inch speckled trout off the Katrina Reef outside Biloxi, Mississippi. Now, if you'd like to be our next winner, all you have to do is go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. On the right side of the front page, click in the Costa Catch of the Week area, fill in all the information and attach your big fish photo. You might be our next winner. What you'll win is a brand new pair of Costa sunglasses like the ones that I wear here on the show each and every week. You can see all of the Costa frame and lens styles at their website. Just go back to the front page at foxsportsoutdoors.com, click on the Costa logo, and you can see all of the frames and lenses there, including the frame style I was wearing this week called Caballito. Next up on the Academy Right Stuff feature, it's the right gear for you to go out on your favorite lake and catch some of these cold wintertime crappie like we caught this week on the show. And it begins with a fantastic light action spinning rod and reel outfit. And this is my first time to fish with the brand new Lew's Wally Marshall Pro Series light action crappie rods. 6 or 6.5 foot is the perfect length. These rods are very light, very sensitive, great feeling rods for this style of fishing. And I've got it paired with the Lew's Wally Marshall Signature Series spinning reel, and I've got that spooled up with Stren Fluorocast 6-pound test line. Fluorocast works great in cold weather because it stays very limp and pliable. As far as the baits go, I've got 2 main baits laid out here. That is the Bobby Garland Moglo jig head. You want a real heavy jig head, and I'm using 2 plastic bodied baits by Bobby Garland. On top is the Baby Shad, and that's for vertically fishing straight up and down in these brush piles. And then when you're drifting and swimming a bait along, it's the Bobby Garland Baby Shad Swimmer. It's got great tail action when that bait is moving. Hey, I'd like for you to listen very closely to what I'm about to say. Failure is an event, not a person, not an identity. At some point in your life and mine, we are going to fail at something, but we do not have to allow that failure to become our identity, to become who we are, unless we allow it to. Failure is one single event, and it does not have to carry over into the rest of our lives. So we need to begin to believe that, say it out loud. Failure is one single event. It's not who you are. I hope you enjoyed our episode today from Lake Ray Roberts in North Texas, but I want you to know that the same principles and information that we passed out on this episode will apply during all the upcoming cold weather months at your favorite lake. You can catch these crappie all through the cold weather months, no matter how cold it gets. And I want you to look at this nice basket of fish that we managed to catch today. Just a good solid mess of fish, a good limit, and we're gonna fillet these and take them home. Hey, don't forget that we're going to be on for our final episode of the 2015 season next week on Thursday at our regular time slot at 6 p.m. with the repeat airing Sunday at 8:30 in the morning. And don't forget, you can always catch the latest episode of our show 24/7 on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. You can see all the latest fishing news and information that you'll never see on the television show on our Twitter feed at the Twitter address you see on your screen. And we're going to be giving away lots of gear during the upcoming off season. Be sure that you click the follow button on our Twitter feed to be eligible for all these prizes we're going to be giving away free in the coming weeks. And you can also like us on our Facebook page for lots more fishing videos and photos and off-season information. Until next week, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.